Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back with another reaction video, and we doing Larry Bird. We back at this part 2 now, y'all. Part 2. So Larry Bird just might be the GOAT, NBA Legends. Yep, yeah, now I had to bring this part 2 kind of quick, fast, in a hurry, man. Right back in this joint. But yeah, this is definitely interesting. But yeah, man, you know, I keep it short and sweet, so let's get right into it. Get straight into the video. Appreciate all of them support, y'all. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. Really appreciate it, man. But yeah, let's get it. Right into this Larry Bird. Just might be the GOAT. This is part 2. Let's go.
Future Hall of Famer. 20 points this quarter. He is 9 of 10.
Larry Joe Bird.
Guaranteed a win in number 7.
They might as well forget it. They've got no chance. They had a chance to beat us, and we all knew if we lost, it meant vacation tomorrow.
Saying the Hawks blew their chance by losing number 6. Now he'll take it for the 2 first and hope to draw the foul, taps it back in, and they stay off it.
And having one of the greatest players to ever lace a pair of shoes up in Larry Bird.
Yeah.
The open man's Ainge. And he was fouled. And the Atlanta Hawks bench can't believe it. The Boston Celtics will win this series. 46 points this afternoon. Oh, the miss, that's it.
Yeah, Bird said after that game,
Yeah.
as we walking off the court, he said, you know, we both deserve to win this game. Unfortunately, one of us got to go home. He said, you're a hell of a player.
We're talking about a dynasty. Here's where it is, right here. That's the dynasty.
He was just better.
5 times he led the Celtics to the NBA Finals. 3 times they won, beating Houston in Bird's second season, 1981, besting the Lakers in 84, and the Rockets again in 86.
Well, we've heard that before, but this roller coaster ride is intent on stopping in the Garden with one more banner.
The league's most valuable player for the past 3 seasons from the Boston Celtics, 6'9", Larry Bird.
Won 3 straight MVPs in the league with the Showtime Lakers and Michael Jordan and the Bad Boys present.
Only 2 other players won the regular season MVP award 3 consecutive times as Bird did. Bill Russell.
You gotta think about that, though. It said the Bad Boys and Michael Jordan 3 times, so that says, man, that says a lot. If anybody don't know, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
And Will Chamberlain.
After winning the World Championship, after being the MVP of the playoffs, MVP of the league, what an honor that is, MVP of the league.
It sure is. You know, after going through a tough season like you do, then at the end you start bringing in awards. It's really a great feeling because you know you accomplished something.
Yeah. Do you have a trophy case somewhere that you keep some of the things you cherish most?
Well, I got some at home and some at my grandma's house, some at my friend's house, some at my house, so I sort of just spread them out and everybody gets to see them.
Never had a losing month during the regular season when Larry Bird was in their lineup. He was that kind of player, that kind of influence. Quiet, classy is how some describe the hick from French Lick.
He became the founding member of the 50-40-90 club, and he did it again the following season. Not even Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan accomplished that. Not even once.
The egg. Man, I ain't gonna say no more. Y'all know who the true GOAT is, man. Come on. And everybody wanna say LeBron and this and that and that. Come on, man. Do your homework, do your history on it. Like I did, man. It made me change my mindset about a lot of things.
Larry Joe Bird.
From a pure basketball standpoint, what was the most fun about playing with Larry? Just as a basketball.
Yeah. So this, Bob, goes to your one takeaway from John Wooden. There's no one thing. It's endless. But the thing that really, I think the thing that tingled my brain the most, or among the things that tingled my brain, was just how darn smart that guy was, and how he knew where everybody was and what they were doing at all times, on and off the court.
What Larry was able to do on and off the court, it defied description, and it was very much like being on tour with the Grateful Dead.
He was ridiculous. He came here. I remember our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game, because he did everything:
Right.
points, rebounds, assists, just steals, you name it. Larry has such a great mind for the game, and a great touch. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
But it was fierce. I mean, every time Larry walked on that court, man, it was fierce as could be. And so he was rolling and rocking, and the place was just jumping, and the scoreboard was bouncing. And it's an exhibition game, and I had just come from 6 years with Donald Sterling and the Clippers, and I'm saying, oh my gosh. And I could hear the fans chanting. And so I go up to Larry and I say, hey, Larry, I hear the fans, but I can't make it out. Are they chanting Jerry? Jerry, Jerry? And he looked at me with this enraged look, and he said, no, they're chanting my name, and you better get used to that. And then he turned and banked in a three. I mean, he was incredible. The single greatest player I ever played with, by far.
The thing that always stands out to me about Larry was his unwavering confidence. I mean, he had a level of confidence that was far superior to the rest of us.
We was maybe talking. It's like, white boy just lit you up. And I used to always say that, like to my friends, it's like, yo, is Larry really that good? I used to say like, yeah, that's the baddest white boy I ever played against.
And he was one of the biggest trash talkers that you'll ever see in your life.
Okay, that's what I want to hear
Larry talked more
about.
trash on the court than anybody. He'd tell you where he's going. He'd tell you when he catches it, there's nothing you can do about it. He was, and it was great trash talking because it wasn't vulgar. I mean, he wasn't, pounding his chest. You can just be standing next to him. I would jump out and try to block a shot on rotation, and he'd say, Scott, you're not getting that. Why are you even jumping? Why are you running out of it? But it was all game.
He'd say something like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I mean, he talked the whole game, and it was, after the game and after years of thinking about it, you're like, man, that dude. But he was, like Cap said, he was ridiculous as far as the way he played the game.
Okay, kids and LeBron lovers, sit and keep quiet. Class is in session. Yeah.
Larry Bird at his best, LeBron James at his best.
Oh my God. And do we have to put the team?
Larry Bird. Matter of fact, y'all tell me this right now. What he just said. Y'all tell me in the comments which y'all pick.
Just two or just individual players?
If there's a draft,
oh my God,
you can take Bird or LeBron.
Oh.
So let's say I take.
There's no question. There's no question. That's not even. You shouldn't even be asking that. Like what? Like, come on, bro. You should not be asking that question. LeBron or Larry Bird? Come on, bro. That's all right. Come on, let's get into it. Who y'all picking? I already know half of y'all already gonna pick, but there may be even some people here that's gonna maybe say LeBron too. Because I've seen some people have LeBron like 5th or 6th or something. Like then they have Larry Bird, MJ, Magic, or but for me, man, I'm picking Larry Bird. That's me.
Larry at this age, when I think he averaged 30, 10, and 7, something like that, and LeBron right now. So you got Larry Legend
Okay,
or
now
LeBron.
what rules are we playing to?
We're playing today's rules.
Oh, I gotta go with Larry Joe. I gotta go with Larry Joe. In today's rules, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
And Larry, so this is 27, 28-year-old Larry and 27, 28-year-old LeBron,
Yeah.
right? Or is he 30 now, right? 30.
Yeah.
So 30-year-old Larry, 30-year-old LeBron.
He should not even be thinking about that. Like, I can't wait to see what y'all gotta say. I can't wait to see what y'all gotta say.
I'll take it at any age. You can do it at 18 or 22 or 26, 28, or as they finally concluded at age 30.
Okay, give me Bird's stats at 30, Paul.
At 30.
Because that was an MVP season, I think.
Yeah. Wow. 30 points a game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block.
Hey, can I answer that question now? Larry Joe.
Yeah. So
Larry
he
Joe.
averaged 30 back then.
Yeah, he's in my top.
Is he ahead of Larry?
You got a strange top 10.
Hold on, is he ahead of Larry Bird?
No.
No, LeBron's physical, if not athletic ability, is a gift. Larry's IQ and basketball competitiveness is, uncanny. Like,
Now, you can argue, oh, LeBron is such a superior athlete, and I will not argue back. But as an all-around basketball player, as a leader, and
LeBron is not shooting like that. He's nowhere near shooting like that, bro. Come on.
especially as a clutch shooting difference maker, I'm all about Larry Bird. He was a bad boy. For those of us, those in the audience who are just too young to know, bad boy.
I can understand how some people, Larry Bird was better than most people think. And so make your argument for Bird.
Bird's a better shooter. It's not close. I think Bird is as good or better as a passer.
We do
Bird's
know
a better rebounder.
Better shooter from LeBron at any distance.
As for the outside shooting, this isn't really close. And the only reason his three-point numbers aren't gaudier is the simple fact that hardly any threes were taken back then, much less practiced. And yet Bird still shot over 40% 5 times, including 2 50-40-90 seasons.
Not only was he a near 90% shooter from the free throw line, which LeBron could never brag about, but also Larry Bird was Mr. Clutch. When the game was on the line, you knew that the ball was going in Larry Bird's hands, and there was little to nothing that you could do to stop him because he was that much of a marksman of the highest order, one of the most lethal marksmen we've ever seen.
when I go out and shoot around by myself, anywhere, before a game in the summer.
One more thing. I also heard that I think LeBron doesn't really like taking free throws, like when you got to win the game or something like that. I think I've heard and even seen a clip that he doesn't really feel comfortable taking free throws at the end of the game. Like if you got to win the game or something, like he's not comfortable doing that. So come on now, Larry Bird's hitting them free throws like nothing.
Summer, I always try to start out about 15 foot from the basket and work my way around the perimeter just so I can get loose and then maybe go a little bit further out or a little bit closer.
Larry Bird got him by 3 points in overall average scoring. 3 rebounds a game he's got him by, which is pretty significant. Got him slightly in assists, which surprised me.
Larry Bird was a better passer.
Pass to Bird, behind the back to Bird! Larry Bird deserves even more credit when you look at those numbers because the game was played considerably tougher then. It was more physical. You can get up in people. You know, you had the bad boys and everybody else still in the game and being very, very relevant. We all know the game of professional basketball in the NBA is called soft as putty right now. You pass gas, you'll get called for a foul.
Yeah.
You touch somebody's finger.
Yo, and that is so true. That's what I'm saying. And and then we're gonna go right back to Jay. There's another video I gotta do on about the JJ Redick situation too. I'm gonna do that video, but like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they changed the rules now and everything now. Like, come on, half of these NBA players is not playing with those rules back then, man. They would start crying like babies, man. acting like little girls. I mean, shout out to the women and my YouTube. I appreciate y'all, but no disrespect to y'all, but I'm just saying, like, come on, man. They not, come on, man.
Nails, you might get ejected. I agree. I mean, it's unbelievable. So the fact that back then it being so tougher and Larry Bird having the quality of teammates that he had, and McHale and Dennis Johnson and others, to sit there and put up those kind of numbers is another testament to his greatness, because he was playing in a time where they did not mind sharing the wealth, yet he was still able to register those kind of numbers. So Larry Bird deserves a whole lot of credit for that.
You take Larry Joe.
Larry Joe for the win.
When it comes down to the end of a game in a championship series, I would rather have Larry Bird have the basketball.
Whether it's a particular juncture in the season where you're trying to position yourself for the playoffs, or you're talking about the last minutes of a game, or you're talking about the last shot in a game, or you're talking about a game 7, or you're talking about anything that indicates clutch, you simply can't pick LeBron over Larry Bird, because you can pick almost no one in NBA history over Larry Bird, because he was a marksman of the highest order. When it was money time, you knew where the ball was going, and you also knew there was little to nothing that you could do about it. It was just a matter of whether or not Larry Bird was going to make it or miss it. It was not a matter of what he was going to put himself in position to do or what he was going to be capable of doing, because he was that big time.
In a blink, I will end your career so fast. I don't need no shooters to get your ass.
I am shocked that you're not defending LeBron a little harder, because I anticipated you would.
I can't.
No, I agree with you. I'm guessing that right now about 80% of our viewing audience does not agree with either one of us.
Well, all that means is that they don't know anybody.
They don't know.
Because we're giving them facts. In terms of clutch, money time, there's no contest.
And I don't think it's even close.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Bye-bye now.
Oh, this is a good, I'm glad I found this. This is a good video. Man, if y'all like, I don't the people that like LeBron that's on my channel, man. Anybody new in here, I mean, I don't disrespect anybody, but just do your homework, man. Come on, just watch some of my videos. You'll definitely see. Cause he even woke me up, man. Like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. This is, you heard it first, Larry Bird, and this is what, a couple years back. Like, come on, man. It's Larry Bird, bro. It's Larry Bird, Larry Bird, Larry Bird, Larry Bird. Let's get it.
Eat this, King. Right? Woo!
Kevin, what? LeBron fans, y'all gonna hate me.
That's a good picture. I'm trying not to pause too much, but that's a nice picture. I gotta find that picture. That's a great picture. Alright, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. This might be the first time ever in a video I skip through, because, I mean, I understand the game, but I want to get back into actual. We're going to skip through some of this, y'all, because I'm not trying to sit here and watch this video game. I'm going to keep it honest. I know y'all don't want to sit here and watch the video games and highlights just for, I mean, this is part of the video, but nah, we're not going to do that, y'all. Alright, let's get into it now.
Out of the blue, out of nowhere, for no apparent reason, LeBron suddenly posts an ode to Larry Bird.
Look, Bird was a 6'9" forward. He could play both positions, small forward and power forward.
Larry Bird, your favorite player growing up.
You can go back to Glenville High School, you can go to Savannah State and ask, who was Shannon Sharp's favorite player when he was growing up? And I guarantee you, they will tell you Larry Bird.
You're saying Larry Bird? We know he was good in the 80s, but he couldn't do anything today. Larry Bird today might be like Ryan Anderson or something like that. I'm telling you, you kids just don't know.
Oh, it's a different generation. You guys probably never even seen Larry Bird play, which is
Just
how many have seen Larry Bird play?
Hey, everybody's seen Larry Bird play.
That's not a high enough percentage. We got some work to do.
So you saying what would Larry Bird do today? Here's your answer. The same thing he did in the 1980s. Larry Bird was amazing.
So before I address who was better, Bird or LeBron,
I don't think people realize just how talented Larry Bird was and how great he was.
He was arguably the best player in the world in the middle of the 80s when he won 3 straight MVP awards, joining Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell as the only players ever to do that. 3 straight MVPs, 3 NBA championships. You kids just don't know.
Larry Bird was a career 24, 10, and 6 guy.
Larry Bird is the only player in NBA history in the top 50 in career points per game, career rebounds per game, and career assists a game. He's the only player in NBA history to average 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists for their career.
Let that sink in. 24, double-digit guy, 24, 10, and 6. Skip, he could score the basketball when the three-point shot was not in vogue.
obviously Larry was a much better shooter than LeBron ever dreamed of being, because even from the free throw line, Larry was almost a career 90% free throw shooter.
Reggie, who are your top 5 shooters all time? Because I look at that like, okay, Reggie, Larry, Chris Mullin, New York City guy, me in New York City. Those are my guys in that conversation. Who are your top 5 shooters ever?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird was getting buckets against brothers. And if he played today, Larry Bird would still be getting buckets against brothers. In fact, he might be even better because of the prominence of the three-point line.
Skip, people don't realize this. Larry Bird attempted less than 2 threes per game. Currently, there are 197 players attempting at least 2 points, at least 2 threes a game. Let that sink in. Larry Bird, arguably one of the greatest shooters of all time, only attempted less than 2 threes per game. I think Larry's a better rebounder for the simple fact, Skip. Larry guarded people that played closer to the basket than LeBron. LeBron defends guys that spend most of their time on the perimeter. So for him to average 7 rebounds a game when he spends the majority of his time playing on the perimeter is pretty good.
And one year, Larry averaged 11 a game, which is pretty great.
All right, also, one of the best passers we've ever seen. At least as good of a passer as, yes, LeBron James, if not better.
Like LeBron, his court vision was, you could say it's not unparalleled because magic too, right? But Bird could pass it practically like magic.
And then as a passer, Larry Bird was gifted. He had that gift of seeing it before it happened. He just wasn't so much of a point guard as LeBron has often been, or point forward.
And had that kind of court vision at the small forward, power forward position, but then he could shoot it a whole lot better than Magic. And by the way, Bird would average 10, 11 rebounds a year, too. Bird was as good a passer as any. If you want to say Magic Johnson's the greatest passer ever, okay, fine. Bird is right there.
Yeah. But Larry, 1 year, averaged 8 assists. So you can see he had the capability of getting up toward 10 assists a game. And then let's not forget the fact.
But I don't want LeBron over Bird in the last 2 minutes. I want to give it to Bird. I want the ball in Larry Bird's hands in the last 2 minutes.
Killer instinct, man.
Who's, you know, do I want the ball in Larry Bird's hands at the end of a game or LeBron's? Larry's, every time, day or night.
Killer instinct, man. For real, dog.
He was one, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, he was one steal away from a quadruple double. He had played 33 minutes, but they were blowing the team out. Casey Jones asked him, did he want to go back in the game to get a quadruple double? He said, nah, I've done enough damage tonight. Skip, now you tell me the guy, Skip, that needs one steal, one rebound, or one assist, or 1 point from getting a quadruple double.
Plus, you think Joel Embiid talks trash? Oh my! There are players from that era that tell you he is the greatest trash talker of all time.
But Skip, to have a quadruple double, he said, nah, I'm good, Holmes. I've done enough damage.
What makes you want to be cocky and say something to somebody?
I was taught at an early age to try to get all the advantage you can. I don't know if it helps or not, but it makes me feel better. It gives me confidence, and it gets me fired up. I don't know if it does anything to the opponent, but it does. It fires me up.
Or when he says, you know what, I'm going to play Portland left-handed because I'm going to save this right one for the Lakers because we got them after, Skip. And he shot almost every point with his left hand.
Everything left.
If you don't think Larry Bird, Skip, if you don't think Larry Bird could have been great in this era, all you have to do is look at Luka. Look at what Luka's doing at not the shooter. Not from the field, not from the free throw line. Okay. They talk about Michael Jordan might average 40. Larry Bird might average 40.
Do you remember Larry Bird? He played in Michael's era. This is ahead of episodes 5 and 6 of The Last Dance. And even though LeBron didn't post this, I think LeBron is such a student of history that he knows full well.
When the Celtics were at their pinnacle in the early 80s, how many times did Michael Jordan Bulls beat them in the playoffs? Answer me.
Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird in a playoff game. Larry Bird's Celtics went 6-0 against Michael's Bulls. Never beat them. These were best of 5 series, first round series, and it was sweep, 3-3. 3-0, 3-0. So I think LeBron is trying to remind everybody between the lines subtly. Everybody remember, Larry Bird was really good. In fact, it sounds like maybe LeBron's trying to make the case that even Larry Bird was better than Michael Jordan.
So if Michael Jordan was the GOAT, he should have been knocking Larry Bird off that throne.
Because before there was Jordan, there was Magic with Bird. And there is no one who went against Bird that Bird did not strike fear in. I didn't say respect, because they're all respected, but fear.
What happened the following year, Skip, in 86? 3-0 Celtics. What happened in 87, Skip? 3-0 Celtics. Why didn't the GOAT get past the big 3 Celtics if he's the GOAT? Why did he get swept?
Larry Bird was a bad boy.
Larry Bird was the truth. But you don't knock Jordan for getting swept by the Celtics. You said he's the GOAT. Well, if your guy's the GOAT, why didn't he win? Answer me.
Killer will, mental toughness, clutch, gene. Larry Bird was a bad man.
Bird was a bad somebody.
Took a bunch of nobodies at Indiana State all the way up the ladder of the NCAAs through March Madness to the national championship game against Magic Johnson and Gregory Kelser in Michigan State. Larry Bird carried 4 guys from Terre Haute, basically, to a 33-0 in the NCAA finals. That was extraordinary. And then he rose up again into the NBA and became Magic's arch rival, his chief #1 rival. And if not for Magic, Larry would have won 5 finals, probably with 5 MVPs. But
yeah, he would.
Larry Bird.
Bird was a brilliant passer. Bird was a great rebounder. Bird was an amazing rebounder. He's an incredible scorer, shooter, the whole thing. And when he joined the Celtics, they turned that, they were like a 20-something win team. They went to a 60-something win team, adding a rookie, Larry Bird. When they were both in their primes, Bird was better than Magic. Bird was a better defender than Magic Johnson.
Larry Bird made 3 all-defense teams. 3. He did it mostly roaming, playing center field, stealing, disrupting, just getting his hands on the ball and passing lanes. He did, but he made 3 all-defensive teams. That's hard to do when you're not exactly known for your defense.
He was tough as nails, not the greatest defender, but still got a lot of steals. And like I said, tough.
But at their best, Bird consistently was considered the better player.
You were petrified in going up against Larry Bird because at 6'8", all he needed to do most of the time was get the shot off without it being blocked.
Skip, Larry finished second in the MVP 3 straight years before he reeled off 3 consecutive MVPs. He finished top 3 in the MVP voting from 81 to 88. Skip, he was dominant.
He was the one who won 3 straight MVPs. 3 consecutive MVPs. He ran the NBA. Larry Bird ran the NBA, the alpha, and he was contemporaries with Magic and better in his prime.
You win 3 MVPs in a row, and you do have 3 rings.
Larry Bird is like the forgotten man. He was Michael Jordan before there was Michael Jordan. He was like the alpha of the NBA.
You were Rookie of the Year over Magic, so all that adds up to me that, you know, LeBron was right. This man was so cold. He got this one right.
And people are like, well, he couldn't be doing what he's doing. Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is averaging 29 points a game, and he can't shoot the ball near as good as Larry.
He was a great shooter.
Since Larry Bird, there has never been a white NBA player, certainly a white American NBA player, even in the same league with Larry Bird. That's how extraordinary Larry Bird was.
And I was like, please, don't put me back in there with that white guy. Please, whatever you do. It was the first time in my life I was ever scared to be go into a basketball game.
Yeah, he's the greatest white ball player ever, Skip. But with Skip, when people say Luka is the closest thing, they're saying close, like Earth is to Mars. That's how close, because we've never seen a white guy like Luka. But no, Luka ain't Larry.
No.
But he's the closest thing that we've seen. A guy that can score, rebound, and assist the basketball.
Bird was the best of all time.
Larry Bird was the truth.
Who dominated?
Larry.
That guy dominated.
That's why he's one of the greatest players ever played.
He's demolishing everybody.
All right, y'all. We're going to end it here for now. And I'm going to do a part 3. I know, we're getting close to the end. But, yeah. Appreciate all of the support. Going to drop that part 3 soon. Look out for it. But, yeah, this is part 2. And look out for that part 3. Always got to shout y'all out and appreciate all of the support. Gonna keep grinding, gonna keep dropping these videos, man. But yeah, that's about it. You know, keep it short and sweet. And I'm out, man. I love y'all. Peace.